Hello, everybody. Welcome. If you're joining us live, that's awesome. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Looks like we're live here. I'm just hanging out, had some supper, waiting for everybody to join here. As soon as you're logging into the room, go ahead and answer these 3 questions for me. Say hi. Let me know you can hear and see me okay. Let me know where you're calling in from. And this guy here, this creepy dude with the magic wand. Let me know if you had a magic wand in your business, what would you fix? What is that special thing? I just noticed one of the emails I sent out was about how we got to stop fighting with our websites. And I'm listening to Alabama Shakes. I don't want to fight no more. So if you're watching the replay, skip ahead a couple minutes to where I'm going to start right at the 8 o'clock time. I'm waiting for a couple more people to join. Let me make sure all of that's working. Yep, it looks like it's working. Sweet. I'm going to close out my Spotify. Cool. Looks like we've got people here live already. So we've got 4 minutes. So let me know that you guys can hear and see me okay. I know there's a little bit of a delay, but it'll catch up. Let me know where you're calling in from. You can hear me okay. And if you had a magic wand, earlier people were saying, it's such a blast at noon today. Want more sales. I wish I had more hands, more hands to get it all done. I wish that I had more leads in the business and more conversions. I wish I could make people more excited to book and to invest more money with me. All things we're going to be talking about. There we go. Hey, Sherry from Michigan. Welcome, Sherry. Thanks so much for hanging out with me this evening. This is weird. I normally don't come back to the office at 8 o'clock, but we're going on vacation next week. So I wanted to do one more quick slot, and I wanted to make sure there's room for you guys from other parts of the world to join. Kim from Arizona, welcome. Michael Dodd, dude, holy cow. I saw that you registered, blew my mind. Good to have you on. This will be fun for you. Thank you guys for hanging out. Awesome, Sherry, you can hear and see me all right. Yeah, I'm excited. So let me know while you guys get that first answer done. Let me know if you had a magic wand for your business. Let me know what would you fix? Is it more clients, more sales, more time in the day, an assistant, some new camera gear, some new lens? What would be the magic thing you would love to have in your business? I'd love to know. One of the things we were talking about earlier at noon is increasing sales. When I first started trying to really decided to start selling products, I kept learning all of I was searching for tactics to use to upsell and how could I just have that sales meeting, right? But what I learned over time is that it didn't matter what I did in the sales session. I would always fall flat. I would try to introduce the products that I was excited about for the first time at the end, and I would consistently fall flat. So we're going to talk today about a lot of things, about how do you get more leads and how do you get these customers first, but specifically how you handle that first interaction when somebody inquires on your website, when they call or email you for the first time. It's in those moments that you actually impact your sales the most, where there's the most room to really set the stage for what you're going to offer and what you want to sell. All right, it is just about time. So guys, keep the conversation coming, keep the comments coming. As I say things that resonate with you, let me know what works, what you're excited about, and parts that you're not. I love that feedback. That's why I love doing this live. Thank you, Sherry. Let's see. She says she wishes if she had a magic wand to have an assistant or an office manager available all the time, meaning I could afford to pay someone what they're worth to do the things I need. Man, that is so true. Time and time again, I keep hearing the first challenge there is just to be able to have enough work for them, right? And then the next is finding them. Finding talented people can be so challenging. I was hearing on Planet Money the other day about how there's like an unemployment rate. It's super low right now, which blows me away because everybody wants more work, but it can be hard to find talented people to help you out. One of the first things I say in order to stay sane in our business is, yes, we need to outsource, but the best way to get ready to outsource and to hire or to delegate another human being is to get our processes and our systems in order. Because anything that you can record or do on a screen, and there's a process for it, it's so much easier to give to a person. And you can automate as much as possible before having to hire somebody. So Sherry, thank you so much. Michael Dodd also says, more sales, more clients. I hear that. All right, I'm gonna help everybody here. It is the top of the hour. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Let's jump right in. Okay. Today's talk is how to book more clients and increase your sales with simple email automation. Yes, we're going to talk about email, but don't go running for the hills. I'm going to make it interesting and show you how you don't have to be an expert. I am a super online marketing nerd. I love this stuff. It's like a hobby. I don't think that photographers need to be experts in email automation or online marketing in order to get the results you guys deserve. So this one wish, wrapping up, we've got one more person, Kim. I would like to be able to niche down to just photographing senior and branding sessions, but worried I wouldn't be able to make it financially in a small town. Good stuff. I hear this concern a lot. If I start focusing and narrowing things, then maybe I won't make enough money, but trusting that when we focus, our marketing on our focused niche works even better, and we can still get a lot of those other clients that come in. They still come to you because they know and trust you. Okay, so surprise, surprise, everybody in every market right now is saying, for the magic wand, it always starts with more clients, more sales, okay? But I'm gonna show you guys how you can use these tactics and how photographers around the world are using these tactics to get just that, more clients and more sales. So a quick background, if you guys haven't met me, I'm Nate from Sticky Albums. I founded back in 2012. Since grown an amazing team of talented people that are really good at doing all of the technical things I'm not good at. We really take a lot of passion in helping photographers book more clients. We now have grown from Sticky Albums 7 years ago into offering landing pages with Sticky Folios and email marketing with Sticky Email. Over the years, I've had some awesome wins. I love this GIF. And I've also had some pretty bad mistakes too. So I want to talk about some of the things I've learned. One of the biggest things in the last few years is how, for a long time, Sticky Albums was all about referrals, getting people traffic and referrals to their website. But that doesn't mean, just because you get a referral, that doesn't mean you are going to get a booking. There's this huge gap between a referral and a booking, right? And if we don't handle those referrals and that traffic that's on our website accordingly, they're just going to fall off a cliff. So yes, getting more referrals is one part of the solution and the whole process. And I love that we can help people with that. But tonight, I want to focus our attention because I think this is more important right now. Regardless of where you're at in your business, I think that solving this problem, closing this gap, how we get more of the traffic on your site. Of course, we all want more traffic, right? But before you go spending money to get a bunch more of it, we should probably make sure we're doing a good job of turning the traffic we do have into leads and then turning those leads into clients, right? So we're gonna focus right here, guys. There's all kinds of stuff that comes after. Let's focus our attention today on this. You guys know I've founded a software company. I'm a big nerd about technology, but I also believe that the strategy piece is just important. So I want to give you both today. I'm not going to talk just about software. I'm going to talk about the strategy behind it, behind what makes the most successful photographers successful and their use of all of the different software tools out there. So here's a quick example. A couple of years ago, now it'll be 2 years this month actually, I met Aaron and Elizabeth. They had some good traffic on their website. But they would look at their YouTube stats, or their Google Analytics stats and go, yeah, it's good. Their website was good. They have a pretty good portfolio, great testimonials, but they had inconsistent bookings. Let me know in the chat here, guys, if you struggle with this challenge. When you look at your Google stats, do you go, where are the bookings, right? Where are the phone calls? When I first got started, I couldn't believe I had hundreds of visitors each week, but my phone wouldn't ring. I was like literally having my friends call my phone. Like, are you sure this works, right? So I sat down with Aaron and Elizabeth and figured this out. What can we do to help fix this challenge? And we added one simple strategy to his website. And in just 3 short months, we turned 300 leads. We were able to collect 300 leads on his website and turn 22 of them into customers in just 3 months. So we collected more emails in 3 months than we have in the last 3 years. Really powerful story. I'm going to share with you guys today what exactly we added to his website to make this difference. So make sure you guys also stick around until the end here. I've got a special bonus for you guys showing up live and spending time with me here. I appreciate it. Watching this, I know there's a lot of competition, especially in the US, watching Netflix or whatever. I promise you I'm gonna make this next hour worth it to your business and to your personal life. And if you stay to the end, you'll get a code to get a free Photoshop template from our friends at Design-A-Glow. The better job we do showing our products on people's walls, showing what we sell, the more you're going to sell, right? So these mock-ups help. I don't know anybody's house personally that looks as clean as their mock-ups. They're just gorgeous. So they make some really good marketing materials. Also, as a teaser, do you guys do wedding shows? I've got a new feature announcement I'm excited to share with you later. So stick around to the end. It's going to help anybody who does events, wedding shows, whatever it might be. Okay, let's dive into the content. So number one, we're going to talk about this idea that I believe when we all of a sudden get to this milestone in our business where we feel like, man, is our website broken? No, actually, it never worked in the sense that a real website should. All right, I want to explain what I mean there. Next, we're going to talk about what's possible. What really, with a couple weeks worth of work, some amazing automations that photographers are building to create some awesome results. Then I'm going to niche down and get really specific into something tangible that where you should start to start getting this all built in your business, because it is so easy to get overwhelmed and to not know where to start. I'm going to end with that, okay? So number one, does it feel like your website stopped working, right? Well, what if my argument is, what if your website really never worked? And what I mean here, some of you saw this in the preview of video I made. When we all first get started, where do we get all of our clients, right? It's from our friends and family. So I did all of the things I thought I was supposed to. When I first got started, I built a website, had dozens of photos, a simple contact form, all of this stuff, decent traffic, but people weren't filling out my contact form. I wasn't getting emails or phone calls from my website. I gradually started to book clients despite my website. And I would argue that most photographers, when they're just getting started, you are booking clients because people come to you, they know you, they trust you, they're booking you and they're calling you and text because they already know who you are and they already know you're awesome. That is such a hard job for a website to do, to take a stranger and convince them that you're an awesome person and you know what you're doing, right? So when we first get started here, we get all this traffic from our friends and family, but whether it's 6 months or 6 years, eventually this dries up. And then what? What do we do? This is the true test of a website. How well are we turning strangers, people who come to our website for the very first time, maybe by a referral of a past client or a friend of a friend, and we can turn them into clients? This is a really hard job. For every, what's the good benchmark? What would we consider a good job? For every 100 visitors, you were able to turn one of those visitors over time into a paying client, right? That's the true test. When I first saw that number, I was like, what? 99 people hate my work? Are you kidding me? I felt so discouraged. But over time, I've learned that this is a 1% conversion rate of cold traffic, right? That's great. That is a really good thing to shoot for. But even that is hard to do. So what a lot of people start with is a contact form, right? I had this, and the contact forms with a lot of the tools out there are getting nicer and nicer. We can ask all these amazing questions, right? This is too much too soon, guys. Contact forms are not the answer. And we just say, hey, want to learn more? Or, hey, do you want to book a session? Fill out the form below. The only people who fill out your contact form in that context are people who have already decided that they, number one, they want to hire a professional photographer. That's a huge decision. A lot of people aren't sure if they want to. Maybe they just hire ask a friend, right? Or do it themselves. And number two, people who fill out your contact form, they've already decided they want to hire you. What about the other 99% of the visitors on your website who are there for the first time, who are there just hanging out, they're not sure, they don't know what really is involved. They love your work, but they may intend to come back, but of course they forget, okay? So let's talk more about how we can personalize and optimize, that's a nerdy term, optimize our websites for that 99% of our traffic, the majority of our traffic who does not know what they want yet. They just want to get to know you a little bit. They're there to look at their friends' pictures. They're there because they're curious. They want to learn a little bit more. So they will not fill out your contact form. They're not going to tell you their budget, their wedding date, their location, when they're planning on booking a photographer. It's like asking for a proposal on the first date. You've got to let people get to know you over time. So what we need to do is baby step it. You need to let your website give your visitors something that they can start with, right? Okay, so let's take some advice from or lessons learned from the trade show strategy, right? Let me know in the comments here if anybody has done a trade show, if it's worked or not, but some of the basic things that you do in a trade show, what I would argue that you should also do on your website, because they have similar jobs, right? Both of these strategies are to educate and let people get to know you, to learn more about you, and to eventually trust you enough to hire you as their photographer. So going through the list of things you should do in a trade show booth: show off your portfolio, show off examples of your products, share a little bit about you, offer something they can take with them, like flyers, whatever, business cards they'll probably lose and throw away. Maybe get the booking. Sure, they've known you for a while and they're already ready to book. Yep, give them a way to book. But the biggest strategy that everybody does at a trade show is make sure you have a way to collect their contact information, right? A way to give them something cool in return for their contact information. What's so interesting is when I've done some of my research on this, most photographers at a trade show, they've figured out this. They know they need this because of the way they're face-to-face with that interaction, right? Oh, they have a couple minutes with somebody. They're probably not going to decide to book me right then and there. I could give them my contact info. What's the chances of them remembering or keeping it or taking my flyer out of their bag versus me getting their contact info so that you can reach back out to them. Huge difference. People know they need to do it there, but they don't have it. So many photographers don't have this simple method in a really effective way on their websites. So both of these things are true. You need to do all of this stuff on both your website and your trade show, right? So what does this look like? Instead of giving away a free engagement session or something like that, what do you put on your website? What do you offer instead of a contact form? So this is the new way of doing online email marketing, is to offer your experience, to offer your wisdom in a series of email tips, of email education. Hey, would you like 10 location ideas for your next senior session, right? Super simple. Outer Banks family photo location ideas. Whatever the education, whatever you know, if you're a newborn photographer, you know so much more about soothing a newborn than any new parent does. If you're a wedding photographer, you've been to way more weddings than any bride or groom. And you know how to structure a day, and you've got all of this amazing wisdom that your target client wants to read. They want this, they're looking for this. When they're looking for a photographer, they're looking for ideas like this, okay? So when you can give them, all you're asking for is an email address to send them a series of email tips in exchange for their email address, then you get to know them, they get to know you little by little, right? This little stepping stone baby step to building trust with you. We really can't fake this, guys. There is no way to fake trust. Human beings need time to build trust. And so the reason why email sequences work so well, and we'll talk more about this later, is that they are spread out over time. You don't have to remember to send them. They just automatically go out. And it's the space between that actually means a lot also. Okay, let's jump into here. So summarizing, really guys, I want to know if this makes sense to you, if you resonate with this idea of your website really not doing its full job. Its full job is to collect leads, right? For the 99% of people who aren't ready to fill out the contact form, that they can start with just entering in their email address to learn more about you. When you execute this right, your website and your email sequences work while you're sleeping to turn traffic into leads and leads into meetings and meetings into bookings. Okay, I know it's getting late, you guys. Keep me excited here. I want some more participation in the comments. Give me an A or a B. How are we doing? Like, I don't know, Nate. That's like stretching it. I don't quite get it yet. Get to the point, right? Or B, yeah, this is okay. Keep it going. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, number 2, what's possible? Are we doing on time? We're doing good. Okay, in this section, guys, I want to give you an idea of what photographers are actually capable of doing with all of the automation tools that are out there. We're going to talk about why the hype. Why is everybody so, like 2 years ago, people weren't in photography, they weren't super excited about email, but it seems like everybody on stage is, thanks to Alisdar, everybody's talking about email, how you've got to do email marketing somewhere on your website, right? I'm going to give you an idea of the old school versus new school in email marketing, okay? That's the difference. The next one is newsletters versus email sequences, and emailing PDFs versus a baby step process to educating your clients about your products and services. Awesome. Thank you, Michael. Says it's cool. Keep going. Aisha says B. This is all good. Let's see. Allie Miller. Wow, this is your second time watching live today. You're the best. I love it. Okay, so I will keep chugging along here. So what I want to speak to, this is new, and I haven't mentioned this point until today, is I see a lot of photographers getting discouraged with email marketing and feeling guilty because they're not, right? So many people are saying, you've got to do email marketing, right? And there's all of this hype. Even outside of our industry, Donald Miller is some marketing kind of savant I've been following for a while. Everybody loves Donald. This Building a Story Brand is amazing book. He says if you aren't collecting email addresses on your website, you are missing out. Strong words, right? He goes so far as to say email marketing is the way marketing is done today. Again, really strong words. Now in our industry, Easton Reynolds says email is the glue that holds all of his online marketing together. You guys heard from Aaron and Elizabeth. Molly Marie says email sequences are where I get all of my bookings. Michaela and Dave say more bookings and more freedom are a result of their email marketing. Let's do a quick, I've got a video here I want to play for you from Michaela and Dave about how important email is in their business.
There are so many benefits to using email in your business. In fact, our business wouldn't even exist without email.
It's given us more flexibility in our business and allowed us to connect with our prospective clients on a deeper level. Now we have even more bookings and more freedom.
So there we go. More and more educators, leaders in our industry raving about how great email is. What's the hype about? So number one, it works. So I know that doesn't necessarily jive. Let me know again in the comments here if you have tried some form of email marketing already, whether it's MailChimp or some other system where you've tried setting up a newsletter form, you've gotten stuck, frustrated, you got stuck writing things, not knowing what to write or falling behind on when to send things or what to write about. Let me know if you've gotten stuck doing some form or some other technology of email and gotten discouraged, because I think that's where a lot of the overwhelm comes from. Is people, like, this has been around for a long time, and all of a sudden it's like the hot new thing, and people are like, what? That's so like 1990s. What's going on? Well, here's the reality: is emails is this huge term, right? There's all of this parts of it that are 10 years old. There's a lot of strategies or tactics that like don't work anymore, like newsletters. People don't opt into newsletter forms that much. There's some like forms and tactics in sending out like a once a week, like blogging or writing, emailing out what your last shoot from the week. All of that stuff used to work, but it doesn't anymore. It's old school, right? That doesn't work. So there's also a lot of the old technology was really hard to set up and really hard to connect and understand if it was working and understand if you're breaking the law or not, right? All of these issues. And I want you guys to avoid all of that stuff because, and I'm going to focus instead, you know, the 80-20 rule. I'm going to focus today on the 20% of the tactics and 20% of the tools that actually matter. Because again, I said it at the top of the call, you guys should not, photographers do not need to become email marketing experts. Your time is better spent doing way more other things. Dealing with like working one-on-one with clients, doing other things. Okay, so I want to give you the 20% of tactics and tools that will give you the 80%. This 80%, by the way, is what all of those other photographers are raving about, how effective it is, because it can run on autopilot, where you do a little bit of energy setting it up, and then it just runs by itself and turns your traffic into customers. I was reminded of this. This is not your father's Oldsmobile commercial. Oldsmobile tried to kind of rebrand themselves. Well, email marketing, I'm trying to do that for email because there's the old school stuff that doesn't work. So this is the first part that doesn't work. Just the, hey, don't miss out. Enter your email below to subscribe to my newsletter. Nobody does that anymore. Nobody cares about a newsletter. There's nothing in that message. That form will not convert traffic to leads, okay? There's not enough in there for people to care. Compare that with the new school here, 10 location ideas for your next senior session. Sign up now to receive my free guide delivered to your inbox. You're sending your wisdom to, if you're a high school senior or a mom or a parent of a high school senior, those are tips that you care about, that you want to learn more about, right? So that form will convert traffic to leads still in a really meaningful way. Excuse me, this is time 2 today. I think I'm gonna hang in there. All right, so let's talk about the differences quickly. New school, automated email sequences, meaning a series of planned emails like 7 to 10 over the first 2 weeks of somebody becoming a lead, versus the old school manual email weekly or monthly newsletter. Old school, new school, right? So the benefits here, new subscribers, they get, if I sign up today or next week, I get the same series of the best emails you write because you spend time writing them, right? Whereas if I'm on your newsletter, your best posts are probably written a couple months ago, but I'll never get them because I just signed up today. Number 2, I talked about how the forms convert better because you're offering better value. I showed you guys earlier, these forms don't convert. It's not, being on a newsletter doesn't matter enough anymore. The next, it focuses on both the form and the emails that you're sending. They focus on giving value, writing things and teaching your client things that matter to them, whereas old school stuff typically just told the story about you. Next, it does a better job of setting expectations about what you're going to send and building trust and delivering on them. 7 to 10 of your best emails. You can sit down and knock out 7 to 10 emails. That's doable. Where a lot of people struggle is the constant writing back and coming back to writing a weekly or a monthly, especially when you're not getting results. What makes you sit down and actually get that done? And when you don't deliver, then it breaks trust, right? If you don't send it on the schedule you promised, people go, well, you didn't deliver what you said you were going to deliver. And then it just comes out of the blue. They don't necessarily miss it when it's gone, but then when it just pops up and they haven't seen you in 6 months, you're just asking for a sale, you're going to get marked as spam, right? Whereas the big one here is set it and forget it with the new school, guys. You spend some time building your automation, and then you walk away. Go on vacation, let it run, let it do the work for you, and you come back and tweak and optimize later. Okay, so that is really setting the foundation of the hype and the old school versus new school, right? Now let's talk about some of the exciting things of how you can really start to respond differently to pricing inquiries. Okay, old school, let me know if you still email, when somebody makes a pricing inquiry, how do they get it? How do they get your pricing information? Do you only email a printed PDF or email something? How do they get it? Or do you wait and keep all of your pricing information until you talk to them on the phone or in person? Next, I'm going to show you this simple process, this baby step process to how you can drastically increase your bookings and your sales when you really meet your clients where they are. So let's go through and learn the difference again between old school and a new school. We're going to put ourselves in Julie's shoes, pretend we're shopping for a photographer, okay? So she goes to Google, goes to Facebook, asks her friends, ends up with some websites. She's got 8 tabs open, starts looking at different blogs, eventually gets a pricing PDF with all of the little sizes and prices and the session fees and these cute names and fonts that are hard to read, let alone if she was to open this on a phone, she could barely read that at all. So she just picks up the phone, calls, how much do you charge? I don't understand it. Why can't I just get the digitals? I don't understand. Why does your 8x10 cost so darn much, right? We've all got that question before, and it's so frustrating to have to defend ourselves as to why our work is worth what we want to charge. So the short version here, guys, is this is a huge leap to get a new website visitor to a consult just by emailing them a PDF. We've got to stop emailing PDFs, right? So Doug, thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate you going first and just putting it out there. I want you guys to save the PDF until you don't have to get rid of it, but you print it. A lot of the PDFs we have were designed beautifully to be printed as a magazine or as a booklet. that look great in person. They're designed to be given to somebody in person. Don't send them over email. That's not what they were meant to be used for. And I'm going to show you a better alternative in a minute. We need to use, oops, let's see, Doug, I'll take that off. Thank you again for sharing. Okay, even though I just said don't do it, I'm going to show you a better alternative, and I really appreciate you putting yourself out there. Okay, so what we need is for a new website visitor to say, how can I get access to a pricing preview, send them a little teaser of the pricing with a video explaining the basics about it and what the next step are, then send some additional nurturing educational emails over the next couple weeks, send them an online scheduling link so they can schedule time on what's convenient for them to talk to you over the phone, super low risk. Then they schedule maybe an in-person consult, and then they look at your printed, awesome, like nice, pretty online pricing guide. And then, of course, when they take those baby steps, by the time they get here, some time has gone by, and they've gotten to know you. They've gotten to know how cool you are and how valuable your services are. Your potential clients need to go slow. So that's another reason why our contact forms don't work, and why PDFs don't work either. Okay, so to help you build this system, I created the baby step pricing blueprint, which can be a roadmap to help you figure out which thing to build in this automation. Again, as a reminder, this whole system I'm going to show you typically takes photographers a couple weeks to build. Before we're done, I'm going to show you where to start today. But I think it's exciting to be able to step back and see the forest from the trees and get excited about what's possible when you put just a little bit of work into it. Because what I took in building this blueprint, I zoomed way out, and I wanted to compare what are the common denominators between those photographers that are struggling and striving to make it and stay in business versus those that are thriving. And I'm going to share with you what I found. A lot of times when we look at photographers like Michaela and David or Easton Reynolds, their success is like, oh, cool, it just looks like it happened overnight. But we all know that real true success wraps around. And I want to start separating what are those phases, what are those steps they've taken to create success in their business. And it looks like this. So the successful photographers I know have established a solid foundation. They've gone from insecure, like I was, like Jim Halpert, insecure about talking. Anytime somebody wanted to know my pricing, I'm like, ugh, to like Beyonce level confident. I think we can all benefit from anytime we talk about pricing with anybody to like channel our inner Beyonce, right? I think that is a really good visual about that kind of confidence of you are worth it, right? You work hard and you deserve what you are charging. And that just attracts people that respect that also. So the way you get there from Jim Halpert insecure to Beyonce confident is focusing on a narrow target, right? Stop trying to boil the ocean. Earlier, somebody said, I want to have the guts to narrow and to pick one niche. That's hard to do, and it takes guts, and you got to put yourself out there and do the work. We narrow in, have very simple packages so that it's easy for you to explain your pricing and for people to understand what's included when they sign up with you. And you want to have a really nice printed guide that makes it easy to understand your simple packages. We're not emailing this printed menu. We're doing something else, right? That comes the next phase. You want to show what you sell in order to go from just struggling to doing all of this work, responding all the time, doing all of this manual work, just to kind of end up right back where we started, to true profitability. There's some other steps we can take. So the first one is to build product mock-ups. And at best, it would be to have pictures of your clients' homes with your artwork hanging on the walls, right? That'd be great. That's hard to get. And sometimes people's houses aren't quite clean enough to get those great pictures. So there's product markups. And I've got a link later or a discount for you to get one for free. So you can start building out these mockups for your online pricing guide and then making a video that introduces all of this to them. So anytime somebody inquires, you've got this automated video that walks them through the guide and what it is you do at any time of night, right? Okay, next, final phase is sustainable growth, where we finally go from treating every inquiry like a fire drill. When I was first getting started with my business, I would answer the phone during lunch. While I was putting my kids to bed, I would just drop everything and go pick up the phone, call them, email them, do all of this extra work because I was afraid that I would miss out on it, right? So what we need instead to create true freedom is automation. With a simple email sequence that every new inquiry can get and a simple, clean email capture form on your website to start converting more of the traffic on your website into leads. And then the work you do on your marketing is all about optimization, proactively, right? You take a step back and you go, okay, cool. Look, this is working. This email is working. Maybe I'll phrase this differently. That's how you really work on your business instead of constantly feeling trapped in your business, just responding to fire drills. Okay, so that is the baby step pricing blueprint. I've got a full course inside of the Sticky Academy that walks you through how to build each piece of it. I hope that preview was helpful to think about how you can approach your marketing better. Alizdar says, simplicity allows our clients to focus on the journey, and I still have to work on it. So true. All right. So if you guys want to see now what it would look like, let's go put ourselves back in Julie's shoes and see what this would look like for her, okay? Let me know if that's something you want to see. You guys are hanging out. I love it. Thanks for the enthusiasm. Okay. Next, we're going to talk a little bit more about what's possible here. Now we're putting ourselves in Julie's shoes. And then remember, I know this is a lot to take in, but we are going to get to the very simple things that you should start with today or in the next week, very simply to get some momentum going in your business. So we're going to do like the baking show. This is what it looks like if you just baked all of these steps at once and had them live in your site, okay? So here we go. Julie is shopping again on Google. She ends on your website. She gets to your website, loves the portfolio, loves everything. And while she's scrolling around, I'm going to zoom in again so you can see this. So as she's scrolling around, she has this little pop-up that comes up. It says, what is boudoir? Grab our free email guide, 7 things every boudoir photographer wants you to know, along with our 2018 pricing list. So she enters in her email address, says, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm too scared to like contact them because she's super nervous to like take the leap to invest in this awesome treat for herself. So as soon as she sends their email address, it automatically redirects immediately to this pricing guide. So the pricing guide is showing a gallery of what the artwork is that the photographer creates. And there's this awesome little video floating here. It's almost like the photographer can sit there and talk over the client's head and teach them about this one pricing site and saying, hey, this is a little bit about me. These are the products that my clients love. Our prices start here. Here's our basic package information. But let me know and we can jump on a call and talk more. In a lot of ways, this should feel like having an assistant. Think about somebody at the very top of the call said, I'd love to be able to afford to hire an assistant. Well, what if every pricing inquiry got to watch a video, a 4-minute video, low production, just with your webcam of you saying hello? The same way you do already every time you get an inquiry. You just record it, record what's on your screen, and walk them through this simple step. Super, super effective. Okay, and at the end of the page, it says, you know what? This guide is just designed to be a starting point. The best next step is to jump on a call. Use the link below to schedule a stress-free 15-minute phone consultation. She clicks, but she's a little nervous. She's like, I don't know if I'm ready to schedule yet. I don't know. She goes away, okay? But because she entered her email address, she's still getting these great educational valuable and inspirational tips in her inbox for the next, every couple days, she's getting a tip. And they're speaking about how you don't have to wait. Here's what other thing, they can talk about anything that your target client wants to know, right? Okay. Eventually, you say, hey, I hope these tips have been helpful. As a reminder, here's a link to my pricing guide. Okay, and then another tip a couple days later. If you want to just jump on a call, we'd love to answer any questions or concerns you might have. Just clicks the link this time, finds a time on her calendar that works, jumps on a phone call, schedules an in-person consult as well, and that the photographer has a printed price menu that they walk through and show off what is included in the different packages, and of course, Julie books, right? So I hope you guys can see the power of baby steps. When we take this huge leap of faith between a stranger and a booking, sometimes we oversimplify that decision, but it is made up of a bunch of tiny yeses. And email marketing is such a good way to build a bridge of stepping stones for people to get to know you and trust you. Megan Holmes, photographer and client of Sticky Email, says, I had a client consult. She just loves getting my emails every few days. My email tips on birth photography was just what she needed to convince herself and her hubby this is what they really wanted. No selling involved, and because I know that's something that we all struggle with. We don't want to come across as salesy and pushy, but they purchased my full coverage collection without blinking an eye. Thanks, Shannon and team. Thank you, Megan, for sharing that awesome story. So we continue to get stories like this, guys, because Brenda says, very cool. Thank you so much. Okay, so the problem here, guys, the difference between photographers that are thriving and struggling is that they embrace that most of our clients, they just don't know. They ask price because they don't know what else to ask us. All photographers are different. We all price ourselves 1,000 different ways, so it's super confusing. And so the better you empathize with how hard it is to find and understand a photographer and what they do, and to figure out what they want and what you offer, the photographers who communicate that with professionalism, with confidence, with simple, easy to understand pricing, and with automation, these are the photographers that win, okay? So that is what's possible. Give me another quick vote. I want to know how we're doing here. We've got a couple minutes left. I want to wrap up with a big bang. I've got some really exciting things to share next. Give me an A. I can take it if this isn't your cup of tea. B, if I'm doing all right. And OMG, yes, I want to build some system like this in my business ASAP instead of hiring a personal assistant, right? Okay, with that foundation set, let's dig in and focus on where you should start. Here at Sticky, we now have a suite of tools that helps with all of your marketing, from generating word of mouth to educating them and helping get all the way through to helping them get the booking, right? And communicating about pricing. Sherry says, OMG, yes. Thank you so much, Sherry. I love it. Okay, so where we need to pause is getting traffic to our website is getting harder and harder and harder, right? It is, when we look at the price of Facebook ads, if we look at how busy and distracted we all are and how hard it is to give people's attention, we don't need to go, the answer is not to go generate more traffic right now. It's so expensive and valuable. We need to make sure that you are closing this all-important gap so that for every, remember the number, guys, for every 100 visitors, you are turning 1% of them into paying customers. So if we break down the math, that means you've got to turn at least 5 or 10 of them into leads first, so you can nurture those 5 into that one customer. And if you don't have this part of just an email form live on your site, all of this traffic is wasted. So we've got to close that gap. That's why it's so important to start here. Thank you guys. We got Allie saying OMG, yes. Natalie, Aisha, you guys are awesome. Thanks so much for the enthusiasm. Okay, so this whole system, for those of you that said OMG and you want this, inside of any Sticky membership account, you have access to this step-by-step pricing blueprint course. I show you everything you need to build this, right? Typically takes, like I say, between 14 days, a couple weeks, okay? What I want you to focus on now, urgently, is getting your email capture form live on your website. We need, even if you don't have all of the other automations built yet, you can do that. But you have traffic on your website today. We need to start turning more of that traffic you have, whether it's 10 leads a week or 1,000 leads a week. You need to start traffic. You need to start turning that traffic into leads, okay? All right, so what it looks like is these slide out email capture forms. This is called our slide out form, or an exit intent form is super valuable. When somebody goes to scroll their mouse off the page, it pops up and says, hey, before you go, enter your email below so we can send you our free guide. Okay, so now we've also got to figure out what are we going to write. Now that you get a lead, what should your email sequence be about? We'll talk about that in a minute too. I'm going to skip past this analogy quick. It's just essentially saying this is the right place to start. Getting your email forms live on your site is a really good foundation. It's like the balance bike. It's the right first thing to learn in your business because everything else will build on top of it. You can always make your emails better and optimized and linking out to more resources and your pricing guide and your video and your scheduling link. All of those things you can build and add later. But let's get this first one live ASAP, okay? This is the first goal. And like I said earlier, what are we gonna write? And this is really why we launched Sticky Email last year. I didn't want to be just one more email marketing tool out there. As you all know, there's a lot of email marketing tools, but none of them are built for photographers with our specific needs in mind. And so I partnered with some of our industry's best educators, best writers, best photographers, and we've by niche, so by seniors, headshot, pets, weddings, engagement, families, newborns, all of the niches that we have a sequence for you so that you can start with 7 to 10 pre-written emails. It's so much easier to be an editor than an author. We have you guys covered. So that is where you start. In a second, hey Kelly, thanks for hanging out. Okay, so I've got a new feature announcement because Kelly, our lead developer, I just blew the secret. She and my team kicked ass in the last 2 weeks and launched a really powerful new feature. I'm going to show you that in a second. But first, I'm going to show you what is included when you guys sign up with our webinar special for Sticky Email. So let me post the deal here. You guys can take a look at that link and I'll walk you through what is here today. Okay, so for $199, that's for your first year of Sticky Email. That gets you all of the forms I showed you, your first pre-written email sequence, and then 500 subscribers. That's our base package to get you started and running with Sticky Email. With Sticky Folios, traditionally it's normally $399 for all of our tools there, but that's more than you need today. All you really need to build the whole baby step pricing blueprint is the online pricing guide. So I've reduced that to, we've got a funnel marketing starter pack for $125 a year. And we throw in some other awesome templates so you can kind of dip your toes in the water of Sticky Folios and how powerful that tool is also. Okay, there's more. Now let's talk about, so grab that link to learn more about what's included in the webinar special, all right? And grab that while it's hot because that link will expire in the next couple days. Let me show you some new stuff. It's Sticky Kiosk. So remember, there's a reason why I was talking so much about wedding and bridal shows. It's another great place to capture leads. How do you want to capture leads? You want to collect like business cards and have people write it on paper. No, you want to have an amazing iPad and a kiosk or a tablet that captures your leads. While you're talking to other people, you can create your own giveaway, your own educational tips and resources. You have 25 unique venues. You can have 25 of our favorite wedding vendors with discounts, all of it that you email them after the show. So you get to create your own kiosk that creates leads, perfect for wedding shows and all kinds of other events. Guys, it saves the leads offline, because what is one thing that any trade show doesn't have is good, consistent Wi-Fi. So our super smart devs figured out how to make an offline lead gen kiosk that just works in the browser. There's no special app install. You don't have to go download and connect things into like the app stores or anything like that. It's just a simple link. I'll show you how awesome it works. It's really elegant how simple it is. You can lock it up with like the kids mode so that it stays just in your survey screen here. You put it in airplane mode and it collects all the leads. And then when you get back online, it automatically lets you sync back up to sticky email, okay? So I love the idea of leaving this out during even a wedding reception as a cool way to collect email addresses from all of the guests at the wedding, give a cool incentive, is a cool way for them to get access to the gallery as soon as it's ready, or the slideshow or whatever it might be. Along with your business cards, you can let them subscribe right there. Any trade show you're doing, if you've got partnerships with retail stores, do some kind of, I'm going to do a whole course on how this could totally ramp up this, because I know that a lot of the partners you guys work with are desperate to have some kind of email marketing strategy also that you could partner on together. Okay, so the way it works is we've just added, so we've got all of these different forms. The slide out panel I've showed you, the pop-up at exit. We've added a sticky bar that can stick on the top of your website. And now the iPad event kiosk. All of these strategies are meant to make it easy for you to turn all of the awareness, all of the people that come to your website, all of the people that are visiting you, and turn them into leads so they can stay in touch with you and learn how awesome you are over time, right? So many other companies, I don't think there's any other email marketing provider out there that provides all of these form types included. They either charge extra or they make you go to some other company that you've got to pay $29 a month just to get one type of one of these forms. And then you got to figure out how to connect it all. We include all of these forms for you all in one. All of those forms are included. And then because you guys are awesome hanging out with me on a webinar, I'm going to throw in the Funnel Marketing Starter Pack for free. So you save the $125 there. I'm going to upgrade your account. Normally over $499 for all of this stuff. You're only paying $199 today. You get the new, yay, sticky kiosk capture forms. And instead of just one of your first sequences, I'm going to give you an account with unlimited. So you have access to all 16 or 17 pre-written email sequences. You can write your own. You can have one for every niche, et cetera, et cetera. And again, no email service provider out there has unlimited subscribers. They all cap it. I'm giving it to you because you're awesome. And that's all included. So again, click the link below. Go ahead and jump on and get access to that. You don't need any special coupon codes to buy. Just do your email, your card number, and pay $199 today. That will renew next year automatically, but you can manage all of your services as you need. We got to earn your business each and every year. As promised, use the code STICKYGIFT, not with us, but at Design-A-Glow. So later, at any time, you can go to Design-A-Glow's website, search whatever you want from their store, and at checkout, you just enter the code STICKYGIFT, and you get $10 off your order, which $10 will get you one of their awesome, beautiful mock-ups. Okay, here's a quick preview again of the sticky bar. So it's one of those cool little bars that as somebody scrolls down the page, it stays stuck right there. It's perfect for cool announcements or for generating leads. So let me know if anybody else has questions about how it all works, what else I can show you. If you're signing up, why you're signing up. If you're on the fence, let me know. I want to answer your questions while you have me here live. Next, let me show you the online pricing guide. I'm actually going to go over to, oh, that's the form there. Where did I have it? I gotta open it. There it is. I'm going to open this in Safari. Okay, so here is what the online pricing guide template looks like. So what's super cool is there's a floating little window here on the left for you to embed like a Loom
check it out. So this is the
video.
welcome video feature.
Pause that. So that just floats right there as somebody scrolls down the page. So what you do is you record this page while you're giving them an introduction to it. And you're showing them not all of your sizes and prices, just what your products look like on people's wall, why they're awesome, and the price they start at. You can have a cool video of your work, or best would be a video of the reveal of you like giving this to, like when somebody first looks at their album. That's an amazing thing to have on this guide here. And then a very simple, clean, professional collections. Even if you have like a bunch more collections, that's fine. I recommend only having 3 here. Again, this is all about an introduction. People are not going to place their order. This is not meant to be like an order guide of like when they're ready to order, they're not using this. The purpose of this page is to get them to call you, to get them to take the next baby step, right? When people stop moving along your process, it's not because they don't like you. It's not because they don't like your work. It's because the next step you asked them to take was probably too big. So we need to make it every little tiny next step simple, and then they're more likely to take each little tiny next step, all right? Okay, so then they click the schedule link and they schedule to have a phone call with you. Super powerful. That is the online pricing guide that's also included in today's special bonus. Let me go back to my deck. Okay. Awesome. Thanks, Michael. Throwing the first question. Oh, it didn't pop up over here. Michael Holmes says, does sticky email integrate very well with Squarespace? Very well. That's one very, very common system that our forms work really, really well with. You can set it up just as some pages or across all the pages. You can have both the slide out and an exit intent is a good combo, which I really recommend. Good question, Michael. Let me take a look over here quick. All right. So real quickly to review why we've got to stop delivering PDFs, guys. The files are just too big. They take too long to load and they look terrible on mobile. They can't really read all of that detail a lot of times. And somebody's got to scroll around. That's not how mobile is meant to be used. They're outdated the second you send them. They're not interactive. They can't scroll through a gallery of your imagery. You want to be able to show imagery along with your pricing detail information, and people will lose them in their email versus being able to like save them as an app to their home screen. And it's too much data too soon. They're meant to be given in person. That's how you should use your pricing guides. If they come designed to be as a PDF. When you use the sticky online pricing guide, it's optimized to look amazing on any device. You can update it at any time. So if you want to raise your prices, you don't have to be worried about a client finding an old pricing guide somewhere in their inbox and asking for old prices. They've got a gallery to really show off both your portfolio and your products hanging on people's walls. And they save the little thumbnail icon to their home screen. So it's another great reminder to take the next baby step and give you a call. All right, wrapping everything up today. You're super welcome, Michael. Thanks for hanging out. Awesome. So we've got more people signing up. Thank you guys so much for jumping on. Howdy, Audrey, Sari Underwood, Mark Mark, thank you so much for jumping on board, guys. I really appreciate it. This has been a fun night. I love spending the evenings. I'm going to stay up later more often with you guys. One quick story from Anthony Hall. After a potential client gets in touch, an automated email is sent out to them with my online pricing guide. It's brilliant because when we get to the consultation, the client asks about the products that I offer, products that they hadn't even thought about. Then, after the wedding, during the sales session, they are already aware of the things that I sell. This is the first time that my product sales are making me more money than my booking fee. Awesome stuff. Okay, let's do another before and after story with Stuart Beebe. First, he said he went ages without even having a price list. He would just put prices in an email and he would try to design them on an Excel spreadsheet, would look awful. But then now with his online pricing guide, his pricing response looks professional with samples of products I offer. And as a result, I have been selling more at the sales session. It sounds so simple in hindsight, right, guys? With really good samples, when you can respond as soon as somebody makes an inquiry now, when you combine the pricing guide with sticky email, it works so well together. Let me show you quick what I mean. Oops, I don't want to get out of there. I'm going to go over to here quick and show you. Here we go. We'll go over here quick. Come on, I jumped too fast. There it is. Okay, and exit intent. There we go. So when you can combine sticky email to collect the lead with all of the valuable information and the pricing, you combine this really awesome call to action where it's education, it's tips that they care about, along with pricing. People are there, they're looking for your pricing. And now this is a quick way they can get it. But you're also earning permission to send them more emails, to educate them about you and all of the awesome things that you do. So when you can combine these things, two things happen. It means you convert more traffic into leads because this is a more enticing offer when you're offering both of these things, tips plus pricing, and the emails work better and everything else works better on the back end because you're giving them this awesome resource. When you connect this to a pricing guide, the second they enter in their email, they get to look at your pricing, whether it's the middle of the night or it's while you're having dinner or you're on a session with somebody else. They can take a look at it. Super, super powerful. Okay, let me jump back to where I was. Let me know if you guys have any other technical questions. Just go ahead and drop them in the chat there. Well, I'm here for a couple more minutes. We got one. So Anthony says, I've booked more clients using this system than any other thing. In fact, it's booked me more clients than wedding shows. Russell says, its email is awesome, saves you hours of time from the start. Jennifer says, I use sticky email because it paid for itself with just one client that came from it. Joy says, was it easy? Remember, I built this my whole team built this just for photographers. Sticky email is so easy, says Jennifer. Brian Kellogg implemented the whole strategy. He says, 2 leads in 6 hours of doing this. All photographers must do this right now. Thanks, Brian. Okay, here we go. Home stretch. I want to offer some closing thoughts. All right, so 85% of photographers go out of business within their first 3 years. I think many of you have heard this sad stat. I want to talk quickly about why. The first thing that gets talked about a lot is this dorky online marketing analogy of traffic is like a faucet of water into a bucket. Your website's the bucket and it's just catch the water of traffic, right? But we've got to fix our leaky buckets because a lot of our websites, again, we get 100 leads and our bucket is not catching any business and it's all just flowing out, that's a leaky bucket that we need to fix. But right now, as we wrap up, I want to talk about a bigger leak that I think is hurting our industry more than this first one. The second leak is what I call your emotional energy leak. All of the hard work, blood, sweat, and tears that you all put into your business, for so much of it to just leak out, where your business is not yet giving you back the profit, the reward in return to how hard you are working. And if it doesn't, if we don't patch that bucket up, this is the reason that photographers give up. So we need to patch both your business, the holes in your business that are draining your energy and having you just feel like it's not worth it. And we also need to patch up your website. And what I mean by this, when you have this pricing inquiry automation built, it acts kind of like a moat for your business. So for new inquiries. And remember when I was talking about this phase 3, where every new inquiry is like a fire drill. I think that I'll go back to when I was first shooting. Remember how I said I would always answer the phone. I felt like I had to do something super custom and personal for every single person right away. I would drop everything. And this is kind of just a lesson in myself that I see a lot of photographers still make, is just having good boundaries of knowing when to clock out, when to go home, when to turn the phone off, when to turn off our messages. But when you have automations, it's kind of like having a team, remember, right? It's like, oh no, I can turn my phone off because I know that any inquiry I get on my website tonight is gonna get an awesome personal reply from me with a video, with my pricing, with my best tips at any time of day, right? It really starts to help you relax versus this huge disconnect. What really drains the energy is when you put a bunch of energy into an inquiry and then they ghost, when they disappear, or when they come back at you and say, oh, your prices are too high. Why does an 8x10 cost so much? And all of this, when something can rip you out of your day, out of your focused, valuable work, and your head's down doing really good stuff, and all of a sudden it rips you out, and you go down this long like fire drill of doing something for somebody, and it turns out for nothing. That is what will burn all of us out, right? So you need to protect yourself from those fire drills with automation. Like, make your automations handle it as a buffer for your business. Let's see. Michael says, I'm very interested, but I want to learn more about your company's full portfolio. Who would I contact for a consult? Michael, I'll reach out. I'd love to grab coffee. I think you're still in the Twin Cities. If not, we can do a call with somebody on my team as well. Thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight, Michael. If anybody else is on the fence, I recommend jumping in with today's deal. It is one of the best prices for all of the things we're throwing in, and it lets you get access to a lot of the full suite and all of the whole platform, right? And then once you log in, so you get access to folios and email and Sticky Academy. And then it helps you work one step at a time through all of this whole course, right? So you don't have to worry about what parts you've built and what you haven't. You just check it off as you work your way through the course, and you've got this baby step blueprint live in your business. And of course, we give you the 30-day money back guarantee. If anything doesn't work, you get your money back. So go ahead and grab the deal. If anybody has any other questions, you can hit us up at support@stickyemail.com. Let's see, web templates, I know there isn't time to answer, so that's what I'm asking. Yeah, totally. I think there's a lot of different pieces that connect, Michael. Want to learn more about integrates with email and web templates. So yeah, I think if you jumped in and started building it, it would start to make a lot of sense. where you start with this little baby step. If you decide you want to build some of your websites with Sticky Folios, some people do that too. But a lot of people start with an existing website that they add their sticky email templates onto. Good stuff. I'm excited to catch up, Michael. It's been fun seeing you interact tonight. Any other questions? I want to celebrate. This is probably going to be the last time I do a webinar here in, how do I have to close this away? Nope, not that. There we go. Okay, so this is gonna be the last webinar I do in this office space. The first of the month, I'm moving to a new co-working space I'm excited about. This is a popper. I've done one in here. They make a total mess. I gotta make sure I don't hit like the fire extinguisher thing that makes it go nuts here. But I wanted to say a huge thank you today to my whole team, Shannon for working our butt off, Kelly, our lead developer, Jonathan, and let's see, I'm gonna start thanking some people who signed up tonight. Jason, Cindy, Abby, Rachel, Susie, M. Clark. Thank you guys so much for jumping on. Guys, grab the link while we're here and it makes such a mess and it's loud. That was so fun. All right, you guys rock. Thank you so much again for all of your time, support. I'll bet that was pretty loud there. It's making my ears ring. My mouse still works in all of this stuff. Okay, let me know if you guys have any other questions. Let's see, may I share this webinar with my website? Okay, wait, we'll do one at a time. Doug says, may I share this webinar with my website builder? Absolutely. I'll be sending out a link. You can probably, the replay might be up on this link in a little while. Otherwise, for everybody that registered, I will send links out to the replay later on tonight. Let's see. Allie, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Let's see. Sherry said, I would love to build a website using Folios. I would, again, I want to call, Sherry, I would start with your email sequence, unless your website is not mobile friendly, unless it's just terrible and it doesn't work. I would suggest using the website you have today, and then we can take a look at building a one-off portfolio site with Sticky Folios if you want to. Sherry says, I want one of those poppers. They're fun, make a total mess, but it was totally worth it. Let's see. Benjamin, do you offer domains? We do not sell domains, but you can bring your own. We make it really easy. If you use Hover or any other domain like that, you can easily just send that, set up an A record to make all of the folios you own on your own domain. We highly recommend that step so that you can make them SSL compliant and all of that other fun stuff. All right, thanks for asking all these questions at the last minute. So I think that's all of the fun things I wanted to share. I had a blast. You guys enjoy your night. Grab the link before I drop off and go ahead and grab this awesome discount and have a good rest of your day. Cheers.